Hello students, today we are going to discuss the chapter controlling as a last function of management. Maximum functions we covered or maximum function of management we covered in the first term up to staffing, directing, controlling. These three functions actually comes in the second term, and controlling is considered as the last function of management. If you want to manage anything, or the process of management includes so many functions, or the process of management starts with planning. After planning, you are organizing the things. After organizing, you are staffing. That means you are putting the proper person on the right place. After that, you are directing the person by giving proper supervision, by giving leadership, by giving adequate communication, etc. And at last, after directing the person, you need to check whether the person is working according to the standard prescribed. That is nothing but controlling. So controlling is considered as the last function of management. First function is planning, second one is organizing, then staffing, then directing, then last one is controlling. Even though it is a last function, but we will not neglect this function. Otherwise, what happens, you think you have best planning with you to achieve the objective. You have best planning, you've done your best planning, then you organized resources properly. That means everything you organized very nicely to achieve that goal, what you have to do in different stages. That means you organized things properly, then you put the best resources for achieving the objective. That means you did proper staffing. After that, you give the best instruction, you give the best leadership, you have already given the best communication facility, everything for directing these human resources to achieve the goal. But after that, you are doing nothing. Then what happens? Things are not going to achieve, right? Because you did everything, but you are not doing anything to control all these things. So I'm sure you are not going to achieve the objectives on time. So the last function of management actually controls the entire functions. So this is not a last function, even though it comes in the last, but it cannot be considered as the least function. It is very important as like other functions of management. So what controlling says? Controlling means activities in an organization are performed as per the plan, and if there is any difference, take immediate action. This is very simple. Controlling is nothing but you need to check whether things are happening according to your plan. You need to check whether things are happening according to your organizing. You need to check whether things are happening according to your standard performance. Staffs are doing well and they are carrying your instructions properly. They are obeying your instructions properly. Everything. And if it is not happening in your organization, it's your duty to check and take corrective action to rectify it. And controlling is nothing but that. It's an activities in organizations are performed. Check activities in an organizations are performed as per the plan, and if there is any difference, take immediate action. This is nothing but a controlling process. How controlling process works? First of all, you are setting, this process starts with here, from here. You are setting the performance standard. First, you have to set your performance standard or standard. What you are expecting. What is your ultimate goal? Suppose you are planning a production process of producing 100 units of a particular product. Then what should be the output quality, or what should be the quality possessed by your output, that you have to determine first. You have to set the standard first. Suppose you are preparing for an examination, just first of all you should be clear how much you need to buy. 100, 95, 90, 80. What is your target? It should be specific. First set your standard. After that, measurement of actual performance. After happening the actual performance, after completing the task, you measure your output with your standard, what you were expected and what is actually happened. Then third steps comes after that. Crucial performance. That means performance is with a compare. Actual performance you need to compare with the standard one. You expected 90 but you are getting 85. So you are comparing your actual result with your standard one. Then after that you are analyzing why there is a change, why the marks has reduced, what is the reason behind this. So analyzing deviation, then take corrective action, maybe because of so many reasons. Maybe you're not prepared well, maybe questions may come from unexpected portions, maybe some valuation issues, maybe some any other, maybe XYZ reasons. Suppose you are fixing a standard for your product final output, then when product comes out it's not according to your standard, you're finding what is the problem, maybe because of material quality, maybe because of machinery issue, maybe because of labor issue, all these things. So what is happening or what happened, what is the reason behind this change or the deviation, find it and take corrective action. That is nothing but controlling process, or how the controlling process works. So setting standard, measurement of actual performance, compare the actual performance with the standard one, then analyze the deviation, reason for deviation you find out, then take corrective action. Now come to the next one, how to set the standard. When you are setting standard, you need to be very specific in that. Suppose a person who is very weak in maths and you are setting a standard, I need to set 100. Okay, there is nothing for creating motivation and everything, you can set 100. No worry in that. But practically you think a person with a not that much having maths background or not that much depth knowledge in this, can you fix 100? And if you are fixing 100, can you achieve, if it is possible to achieve it? So when you are fixing standard, it should be quantitative as well as qualitative, and it should be specific to achieve, and it should be justifiable. You cannot fix a Himalayan standard for a normal person. So a machinery, you know that maximum if it works 24/7, it can produce 5,000 units, but you are fixing a standard of 6,000 or 7,000, it's never going to achieve. So setting performance standards are the set to compare with the actual performance. So when you are fixing it, it should be quantitative or qualitative, whatever terms, it should be measurable, it should be specific, it should be justifiable. Okay. And when you are measuring the actual performance, you need to use your method, how to measure, how you are going to measure it. Maybe you are standing there personally, you are going to observe it, or you are going to take some samples from the output, or in proportion wise you are going to take. Suppose outputs are coming from the machinery, you are taking every samples, or you are going to check only 10th sample, or you are going to check only 1000 output are coming out when you are going to take only one. So what measurement technique you are going to use, that is the next one. Then next one is actual performance when you are comparing with the standard one. If actual is 200 and your standard is 250, so why there is a difference of 10 units? So find the deviation. After that, analyze the deviation. So when you are analyzing the deviation, what is the reason why the output has decreased or increased, or if there is an abnormal increase. Suppose you planned only 200 but the production actual output is 300 or 350. Maybe your standard fixation program is not up to the mark. That means you didn't consider the proper things. So you set a lower standard. So mainly there are two things which should be focused on deviation. When the deviation comes, there comes the two new terms related to the management. Critical path control. That means if any deviation happens, suppose 200 units you planned, but 150 was the actual. So already 50 unit less. You should know why, the reason. What is the reason behind this? Just imagine, in every organization, you cannot control, when you are taking the actual production process or service activity of an organization, you cannot control, or each and every element of organization or the activity process may not be important. Just imagine, suppose you are providing banking service. Okay, suppose how you will evaluate the banking service. Of course, the building is okay, the ambience is okay, but utmost good care should be given to the banking service, right? When you are depositing money into your account, it should not go to somebody else's account, or when you are withdrawing money, somebody else should not get SMS, right? So that is the core activity. So you should know After that only the people will measure the ambience, after that only the people will measure the style of building, where the bank is situating, everything. What is the critical activity on which the organization is going to judge by others or is going to assess by others? School. If everything is fine, nice building you have, nice infrastructure you have, but teachers and the standard of the quality of teaching is very poor, so that is the critical path. And a school should be assessed on the basis of teaching learning process which is happening, right? The quality of teachers, the quality of teaching material provided, everything. So critical path means as a manager you should know where to control, not on the each and every nook and corner of the activity you should not control. So critical path control. When deviation comes, you should analyze first critical path where the problem is this. Suppose accountancy marks are very low. So don't analyze the science marks or physics marks, chemistry. You go to the accountancy, concerned teacher, students, what happened, everything. Where is the critical? That is a critical path. No need of analyzing entire 12th standard result and all, right? If a particular subject is weak, if a particular subject is performing well, you should analyze only that subject. What is the reason? Management by exception. This is another process of management. When deviation comes, suppose as a manager, you will not be able to control each and everything in the organization. So you should know where you should give more stress or where you should give less importance. So management by exception means minor deviation should be avoided, but major deviation, suppose 100 rupee increase in stationery amount. When you are analyzing the expense of an organization, 100 rupee increase in the stationery, it's not a major problem. But sales has decreased by 25,000 or 50,000 as compared to previous. Okay, previous quarter, when you are as compared to previous quarter, your sales has decreased by 25,000 or 50,000 or 1 lakh rupee, 2 lakh rupee. That is a major important case. Not the 100 rupee increase in printing and stationery, 100 rupees printing paper has increased, or 200 rupee increase in the electricity charges. Not a major matter. So as a manager, you should know where to focus, where to give more importance, where to give less importance, etc. So these two terms, please clear it: critical path control and management by exception. After this, taking corrective action. So after doing all these things, you take correct action. Means why the deviation come, what is the reason, how to prevent it, how to overcome this. So for that you may be giving training for your employees, adding more workers and machines. Maybe because of machines, lack of machines and lack of workers, maybe you may not be able to achieve the standards. Increased number of working hours, maybe sometimes because workers are not getting adequate time to meet the standard, maybe the reason. So whatever is the reason, analyze the reason, then after that you take corrective action. This is actually which is happening, or what is happening in the controlling process. Now critical path control, KRA, critical area. KRAs are the key result area, which is the most important area in every organization. Everybody should know. Just imagine if you are running a restaurant. Okay, what is the key area? The quality of food, the taste of food, what you are going to serve, right? After that, ambience, where you are serving, how you are serving, everything matters. Okay, but the quality of food is not okay. How the restaurant is going to survive, which are important for the success. So key area, key result area. As a manager, you should understand what is your key result area. Entire organization may bear loss if anything goes wrong at the critical point. So if anything happens to this key area, the entire organization is going to lose the momentum. So in Maruti, example Maruti Suzuki, engine part or the quality of automobile depends upon the quality of engine what they possess. So that is important key area, critical path, and management by exception. Don't try to control everything. That's not possible as a manager. Only major activities. As a manager, suppose you are the general manager, you don't want to go to the washroom and inside the washroom and check whether it is cleaned or not. No. That is not your duty. You have some other key important areas you have to look after. This work you can divide to someone else. You can delegate this work to someone else. As a manager, you should not be stubborn that I should check each and everything. No. Management by exception. You divert that particular time to another important area where you can focus more, whereby your organization can improve better. So insignificant things should be avoided. So management by exception. Okay, so advantages of key area, key result area and management by exception: saves time and effort of managers, it identify critical problems. When you are analyzing the exact core activity, you will find the problem. Where is the problem? How we can overcome it. And it promote delegation, of course. Suppose if you are management by exception, if you are following, you will not look into the each and everything. You will delegate the authority, or you will delegate the things to others also. They will also engage in that. Okay, the last part, how the limitation of controlling. Difficulty in setting standard. This is the main thing, because if you want to control something, you should have a standard first of all. So how to fix a standard? For different things to fix a standard, it is very difficult. In certain areas, how to fix a standard, that's the main thing. Suppose quality of dishes, how to fix a quality? Okay, taste vary according to the different conditions, right? So how to fix a standard? So how to fix a natural weather condition may affect output. Maybe your material quality may increase affect output. So when you are preparing a standard, when you are setting a standard, how to fix a standard, that's a major area. So difficulty in setting standard is the main thing. Second one, employees resistance. If you are putting unnecessary restrictions on employees, okay, on the basis of controlling, if you want to control the employee and you are started in restrictions, you started imposing restrictions on employees, may resist, of course. If they want to change and all, employees may resist. Add cost, of course. If you want to implement machineries, you somewhat more working hours you need to put, or more work labors should be on job, so it will add definitely. If you are more controlled, if you want to minimize the deviations, so you need to add cost, or your cost or total cost will increase. Little control on external factors. Okay, whatever you implement, but there are some factors which are out of your control, out of your organization's control. So that may come. Okay, the stock market is crashing, your stock you will also crash. If the stock market is crashing just because of a general tendency all over the world economy factor is negative, so market is crashing, your portfolio will also show a negative. You are not exceptional to this. But at the same time, from your top, your company, your portfolio, only one or two companies are performing very badly because of some specific issues. That is your problem. Okay, so little control over external factors. Some factors you cannot control. Okay, difficulty in setting standard. Employees may resist. Then it's adding to cost. Then little control on external factors, etc. So next class we will study the relationship between the planning and controlling. So today we discussed what is controlling, how controlling act as a function of management, and importance of controlling, and the process of controlling, the controlling process, and management by exception, and key result area, critical path control and all. Thank you. We'll see you again to the next chapter. Thank you.